Hi sweet friend, this little bag is perfect for your everyday essentials. Your keys, your earbuds, everything fits in so nicely. It's super beginner friendly so you can take your time and enjoy the process. I've put together a full PDF pattern in my Etsy shop, and there's also a slow step-by-step video to guide you. You can find the link in my bio if you'd like to have it on hand. So no rush, let's make this together. For this project, I'm using a soft DK cotton yarn and a 3mm hook. We'll start by crocheting the pants legs, making 2 pieces the same way. Using blue yarn, begin with a foundation chain. Hold the yarn tail between your middle finger and thumb. Leave a small yarn tail here. Wrap the hook under the yarn from below. Hold that crossed position with your thumb. Yarn over from above, then pull up a loop to tighten it. Tie a knot here, and this does not count as a stitch. Now chain 12 stitches. For each chain, yarn over and pull through the loop. Just repeat that 12 times at your own pace. Your 12 chains are now done. Join the beginning and end to form a ring. Find the first chain and insert your hook into the left half loop. Make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. For the slip stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, then pull it through the loop on your hook. And that completes your slip stitch. Now we'll work 12 single crochets into the ring. Yarn over and chain 1 to start. This chain does not count as a stitch, so go right into that same stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. That's your first single crochet. Place a marker in that stitch. Go into each chain around, working into the top half loop with single crochets. Just repeat that all the way around until you have 12 stitches. On the 12th stitch, we'll leave it unfinished to change yarn. Bring in your new yarn and place it under the work. Yarn over with the new yarn and pull through both loops. Then remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Lay both yarn tails over your hook so you can crochet over them. Pull up a loop and make a slip stitch. Tighten it gently. And that's the first round complete. For rounds 2 and 3, we'll keep the same rhythm with 12 double crochets. Chain 2 to begin, 1 and 2, nice and easy. For a double crochet, yarn over and go into the stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Then yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. That gives you 1 double crochet. Place a marker in the first stitch. Repeat that all the way around, just settling into the rhythm. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And round 2 is complete. For round 3, start by chaining 2. Then just follow the same steps as the previous round. After 12 double crochets, we won't join this round. Instead, chain 1 here and cut your yarn. Leave a small tail and tighten it gently. Trim any excess yarn on the inside. And that finishes one leg piece. Go ahead and make a second one the same way. Now we'll move right into the body, starting again with a foundation chain. Chain 16 stitches. Tie your starting knot, and this does not count as a stitch. Then repeat your chain stitch 16 times. Your 16 chains are ready. Starting in the 3rd chain from the hook, work 13 double crochets. In the last stitch, make 3 double crochets. Then continue with 12 double crochets along the other side. Finish with a double crochet increase. That brings you to 30 stitches. Count to the 3rd chain here and insert your hook right into that spot. Yarn over to begin your double crochet. Insert into the stitch, catching that top half loop. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Then complete the stitch. Place a stitch marker in your first stitch. Your 13 double crochets are done. In the last stitch, work 3 double crochets into the same spot. Turn to the other side and go into the remaining loops. Work 12 double crochets across. Those 12 stitches are complete. In the last stitch, make a double crochet increase. That means 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And round 1 is complete. Now we'll start joining the legs in the next round. Chain 3 to begin, nice and easy. These chains do not count as a stitch. Yarn over and bring your first leg piece to the left side. Count over to the 6th stitch and insert your hook there. Now connect it to the body and work them together through both layers. Pull through both loops. Work 6 double crochets here, placing a marker in the first stitch. Then continue with 3 double crochets on the body. Now bring in the second leg, keeping the opening on the right side. Insert into the first stitch and connect it to the body. Work 12 double crochets around this leg. That section is complete. Now add 3 more double crochets on the body. Then reconnect to the first leg and finish the last 6 stitches. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes this round, with both legs now joined together. Now, repeat your double crochet 30 times, nice and steady. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 3. Round 4 follows the same rhythm, and we'll switch yarn at the last stitch. Chain 2 here to begin the round. At the last stitch, get ready to change to the green yarn. You can pull your loop a little longer here to give yourself some space. Insert your hook into the top 2 loops of the stitch, right into that V, then bring in your new yarn. Yarn over with the new yarn and pull through. Now make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Lay the green yarn over your hook and gently adjust the loop. Slip stitch. And round 4 is complete. You can cut the blue yarn here, leaving a small tail. For round 5, we'll work in the back loops only with 30 single crochets. That back loop is the side of the stitch that sits farther away from you. Chain 1 to begin. Don't miss that first stitch, go right into the back loop. You can crochet over the yarn tails as you go. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. Then repeat single crochet 30 times, just settling into the rhythm. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And round 5 is complete. Rounds 6 through 10 follow the same pattern with 30 single crochets. For round 6, start with a chain 1. Place your marker in the first stitch. Then repeat single crochet 30 times. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 6 is complete. Round 7 is worked the same way, just keep that steady rhythm. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join, and round 7 is done. Round 8 follows the same pattern. Join with a slip stitch, and round 8 is complete. Round 9 continues in the same way. Slip stitch to join, and round 9 is done. Round 10 is worked just like round 9. Join with a slip stitch, and round 10 is complete. Now for round 11. Work 2 single crochets, then chain 13 and skip 13 stitches, then continue with 15 single crochets. That brings you back to 30 stitches. Start with a chain 1. Place your marker in the first stitch. Work 2 single crochets. Chain 13 and skip 13 stitches. You can start counting from here. Insert your hook into the 14th stitch, then work 15 single crochets across. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And round 11 is complete. Rounds 12 and 13 both repeat 30 single crochets. For round 12, chain 1 to begin. Place a marker in the first stitch. Repeat single crochet 30 times. For the chain section, just go into one side of the chain. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 12 is complete. Round 13 is worked the same way. Slip stitch to join, and round 13 is complete. Repeat that pattern 5 times all the way around. That gives you 25 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. Work 2 single crochets, then 1 decrease. For the decrease, go into the front loops of 2 stitches, front loop of the first stitch, then the next one. Yarn over, pull up a loop, then pull through both loops. That completes 1 decrease. Repeat that sequence 5 times. Nice and steady. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. and round 14 is complete. For round 15, work 3 single crochets, then 1 decrease. Repeat that 5 times for 20 stitches. Chain 1 to start. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. Repeat 3 single crochets and 1 decrease all the way around. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 15 is complete. For round 16, work 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, then 1 single crochet. Repeat that 5 times for 15 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. Repeat that sequence all the way around, just easing into the rhythm. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And round 16 is complete. For round 17, work 1 single crochet and 1 decrease. Repeat that 5 times for 10 stitches. Chain 1 to start. Repeat 1 single crochet and 1 decrease all the way around. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 17 is complete. Now for round 18, we'll work 5 decreases. This will leave you with 5 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. Repeat the decrease 5 times. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And round 18 is complete. Leave a longer yarn tail here so we can close the opening. Pull the yarn through. Pick up the front loops of the remaining stitches. Gently close the opening. Bring the yarn to the back and start weaving it in. You can weave through a few stitches to secure it nicely. Then trim off the excess yarn. And that completes the main body. Next, we'll move into the mouth section. Insert your hook into this position at the top of the head. Go into the first stitch along those remaining chain loops. Switch to your mouth yarn. Chain 1 here, and it doesn't count as a stitch. Work 1 single crochet into each of the 13 stitches. So go ahead and make 13 single crochets in a row. At the corner, pick 2 spots and place 1 single crochet in each. Then continue with 13 single crochets and finish with 2 more. That brings you to 30 stitches. Chain 1 and go right back into that same stitch. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. After 13 stitches, you'll reach the corner. Place 1 single crochet into each opening there. Then work another 13 stitches along the bottom. At the corner again, place 1 stitch into each space. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. That completes the first round of the mouth. For round 2, work 13 single crochets, then 2 increases, then 13 stitches again, and 2 increases. You'll have 34 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place a marker in the first stitch. Work 13 stitches, then 2 increases. Then repeat 13 stitches and 2 increases again. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 2 is complete. For round 3, work 13 stitches, then 4 increases, then repeat that once more. That gives you 42 stitches. Chain 1 to start. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. Work 13 stitches and 4 increases. Then repeat that sequence again. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 3 is complete. For round 4, work 13 stitches, then 4 decreases. Repeat that pattern once more. That gives you 34 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. Work 13 stitches, then 4 decreases. Then repeat that again across the round. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Chain 1, then cut the yarn here. Tighten the yarn tail. Then weave the yarn into the front side of the body. You can go into any stitch on the front to secure it. Trim off the excess yarn. Turn the mouth right side out. And that completes the mouthpiece. Next, we'll start on the front of the suspenders. Count forward 2 stitches from the slip stitch. Insert your hook into the 3rd stitch and switch yarn here. Work into the front loops we left from round 5. Pull your yarn through. You can crochet over the tail to secure it. Lay the tail under your hook and above the working yarn, then chain 2 to begin. Now work 10 double crochets in a row. You can place a marker in the 1st stitch if that helps. After 10 stitches, chain 1 and turn your work. We'll start with a single crochet decrease here. Use unfinished stitches to make your decrease. Pull up a loop in each stitch, then yarn over and pull through all loops. That gives you 1 decrease. Then work 6 single crochets across. On the last stitch, make another decrease. Join those 2 stitches together. Then chain 1. We'll leave the yarn attached for now. And that finishes this suspender panel. Keep the yarn tail, we'll use it for the strap. Now bring back your main blue yarn. Rejoin it at the top of the overalls. Chain 1. Now we'll work a round of slip stitches, making 8 in a row. Place a marker in the first stitch. After the slip stitches, move on to the double crochet row. Here, work 3 single crochets. You can catch the back side as you go. That makes 3 stitches here. Then continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch. Keep going with single crochet. Join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. Chain 1, leave a tail, and cut the yarn. Tighten it gently, then weave the tail inside, tucking it under the suspender. Now go back to the light blue yarn we left earlier. Start chaining for the strap, adjusting the length as you go. There's no fixed number here. Just keep chaining at a steady pace. Check the length against your piece. You can hold it in place to see if it looks right. Once it feels right, find a spot to attach. Pick a stitch inside the suspender. Join with a slip stitch. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. We'll hide the tail later. Repeat the same steps on the other side. Start chaining again. Then weave the yarn neatly on the back. Join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and cut the yarn. Weave in all remaining yarn tails. Just make sure everything is nicely hidden. Take your time with this part. And that completes the suspenders. Next, we'll move into the legs. We'll make 2 pieces the same way. Start with the foundation chain of 12 stitches. Leave a small tail here. Tie your starting knot, it doesn't count as a stitch. Chain 12, nice and steady. Now work back from the second chain from the hook. Make 3 slip stitches to begin. That completes your first set. Chain 4 stitches. Work back again with 3 slip stitches. That's another set. After 3 sets, return to the main chain. Find that skipped stitch. Insert your hook and begin slip stitching upward. Continue until you have 8 slip stitches. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. Tighten it and secure it. Weave in the tail, leaving a longer one for sewing. And that completes one leg piece. Go ahead and make a second one the same way. For the arms, we'll follow the same method as the legs. The only difference is we'll chain 15 stitches. Chain 15 here. Then work back from the second chain with 3 slip stitches. Chain 4 stitches. Work back again with 3 slip stitches. That's another set. Then return to the chain and continue with slip stitches. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. Leave a long tail and secure it. That completes one arm. Go ahead and make a second one the same way. Next, we'll move into the eyelids, starting with a magic ring. Work 6 single crochets into the ring. Hold the yarn and wrap it comfortably around your fingers. Hold that crossed position. Insert your hook and pull up a loop. Chain 1, and this doesn't count as a stitch. Now work 6 single crochets into the ring. That's 1 single crochet. Here we're using the cross single crochet. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. After 6 stitches, tighten the ring. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Lay the yarn over your hook. And round 1 is complete. For round 2, we'll work 6 increases. Chain 1 to begin. Place a marker in the first stitch. Work 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Chain 1 and cut the yarn, leaving a long tail. Tighten it gently, trim the excess yarn at the back. That completes one eyelid. Make a second one the same way. Now for the eye white, we'll follow the same steps. We'll make 2 pieces. Start again with a magic ring. Work 5 single crochets, still using the cross single crochet. Place a marker in the first stitch. Tighten the ring after 5 stitches. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Crochet over the yarn tail. And round 1 is done. For round 2, work 5 increases. Chain 1 to begin. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch. Repeat the increase all the way around. Remove the marker and make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Chain 1 here. Cut the yarn. Trim the excess and bring the tail to the back. Weave it in neatly. You can go through any stitches to secure it. Then trim the remaining tail. And that completes the eye white. Go ahead and make a second one. Now we'll move into the blush. Start with a magic ring and make 6 single crochets. Chain 1 to begin. Work 6 single crochets. That's all 6 stitches. Tighten the ring. Make a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Pull the yarn through and leave a small tail. Bring the tail to the back. Tie a knot and trim the yarn. Leave just a tiny bit of tail at the end. Next, we'll make a little 5-pointed star, starting with a magic ring. Chain 1 to begin. Work 1 single crochet, then chain 1. Now make a double crochet into the ring. Chain 1. Work back into the second chain and make a slip stitch. That creates a small picot. Yarn over and make a half double crochet. Pull through all 3 loops to finish that stitch. Chain 1, then add 1 more single crochet into the ring. That completes 1 point. We'll repeat this 5 times. After the final set, chain 1 and cut the yarn. Then tighten the ring gently. Bring the tail to the back and tie a knot. Tidy it up, and your little star is ready. Trim the excess yarn on the back. Now that all the pieces are ready, we can start assembling. Let's begin by sewing on the hands beside the mouth. Lift the overall slightly and stitch the hand in place. After a few secure stitches, weave the yarn along the texture. You can also weave it on the inside, then trim the yarn. And that finishes one hand. Next, let's attach the feet. Place each foot inside the pant leg and sew it in. Tie a knot to secure, then trim the yarn. Now both the arms and legs are attached. Go ahead and repeat on the other side. Next, we'll sew the eyes onto the top of the head. Once sewn, bring the yarn to the back and hide it neatly. That completes one eye. Now glue the white part of the eye in place. Then attach the pupil on top. Repeat the same steps for the other eye. Glue on the blush. Attach the little star. And glue on the button. And that's it for today. Your mini big mouth frog bag is finished. If anything feels tricky along the way, just leave me a comment. I'll be right here to help you. Take your time and enjoy the process, and I can't wait to see what you make. See you next time.